would definitely recommend the Garza Law Firm to all my family and friends because I know how he's treated me. I have been playing basketball ever since I can remember. I just finished my 6-year career playing for the University of Tennessee. I feel like we're both striving to be better every day. He's always responded quickly and has always come through with whatever he said that he's going to do. The Garza Law Firm is definitely somebody you want on your team.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Road America, one of the world's classic road racing venues, has been host to every important North American racing series, beginning with SCCA sports cars in the 50s to Can-Am and Trans Am in the 1960s and 70s, IMSA GT and GTP cars since the 70s, and Indy cars beginning back in 1982. NASCAR even ran races at the Road America back in 1956, won by the legendary Tim Flock. The June Sprints, put on annually for more than 50 years by SCCA's Chicago region, draws 600-plus amateur sports car racers and as many as 30,000 spectators. The current schedule also includes vintage and motorcycle racing. One of the most unique aspects of Road America is that it is beloved both by spectators who are afforded a variety of spectacular views and by drivers who value the challenges the track presents. And while Road America enjoys a rich tradition, it is not a prisoner of its history. A recent upgrade to the facility saw spectator viewing and paddock access improved by the replacement of the Bill Mitchell Bridge with a tunnel 100 yards further down the road. A further nod to performance gains wrought by modern technology is the addition of an optional chicane at Road America's famous kink in the backstretch straightaway, providing a second configuration for race series that don't wish to expose their drivers to one of motorsport's biggest thrills every 4 miles. Tonight, the stars of the Lonestar Racing GT3 Series as they take to the track for round number 1. It's the Rich D PC Grand Prix, and it's next on HBR TV. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV. Welcome, everybody, to the virtual Road America for the Lonestar Racing GT3 Series race number 1 here from Road America. Certainly looking forward to this one. One of my favorite tracks specifically, not just to call here in the booth, but to go out and turn some laps in. It's kind of digging at my side here, not being in the race car, but you got to make the money, so that's what we're going to try to do here. Put on a good show for you guys tonight. So we get on trackside qualifying already underway. Terry Crouch looking to be fastest thus far with a really quick time, 2:04.153 in this 15-minute open session. Terry still on the racetrack driving the BMW. Many BMWs in the field tonight. Last count was 18. I think we've got 32 entries tonight. 33 looks like was where we're at right now at the moment. If you guys tuned in for the Bathurst pre-race or preseason GT3 race, we saw that battle between Terry Crouch and Gaston Massaroni. Again, I'm going to try to get these names right. Some of them from other countries, so the pronunciations may be way off, and for that I do apologize. Brett Crouch, third quick. Nick Ciccato, fourth fast. Randall White, fifth. Then it's Kevin Burrows, Andrew Locke, familiar name. Then it's Dave Seitz, James Vance, and then Dave Tamira, your top 10. Not a ton of you in the stream just yet, but those of you watching, feel free to chime in the stream chat. It is open. Keep it PG if you can. Keep it safe for the kids. Tell us where you're watching from, who your driver is. While we're at it, if you haven't already done so, please give HBR TV a like, a share, a follow, a subscribe. Turn on the notifications. Follow us on YouTube for all the streams. That's at youtube.com/@symbol, the letters HBR TV, and the number 1. Kevin Burrows with TLDR Sim Sport. Teammate with Terry Crouch. Terry and Kevin both actually ran the iRacing Daytona 24 with myself and Zach Millett. Zach Millett, unfortunately, not in tonight's race, and I don't think he has registered for this season. Certainly going to miss the 315. HBR Autosport able to take home P2 in their split. Looks like Andrew Locke tucked right in behind Kevin here. He may be trying to sniff a bit of a slipstream here, pick up some time on that straightaway. Coming down to the front stretch here in just a little while. We did see this earlier in the practice session between himself and James Vance. That's Andrew Locke and James Vance, teammates, so to speak. Vance was the lead car in that duo, and Andrew was able to pick up a little bit faster lap time in the practice session, at least while he was trailing the 87 BMW. Picked up quite a bit of draft on the front stretch. While we're at it, let's take a look at the practice results from earlier. Terry Crouch was fastest with a 204.643. Again, he's bested that time here with a 204.15 in qualifying. Then it was Randall White, Gaston Massaroni, Brack Crouch, Justin Wilkinson, Kevin Burrows, Nick Ciccato, Andrew Locke, James Vance, Dave Seitz were the top 10 fast drivers. 11th click was Alexis Mandrakia, Dave Tamira, Sean Roberts, Josh Lucas, Kevin Blue, Daniel Clark, Chris Pyle, Andy Spicer, Drew Blaze, Brandon Domain. I got corrected on that one. It's the top 20 times in the practice session. See, Andrew has gone around Kevin Burrows. Don't know if Kevin just gave him that spot while we were checking out practice results, or if Andrew was able to draft on by. Nonetheless, Locke now in the wind. Now we got Drew Blaze. I think he's in a Lamborghini. That he is. Oh, too hot into turn one. Saves the car, though. Good save for Drew Blaze. Very impressive. Andy Spicer is a familiar name from last season. Remember, 2 seasons ago, we ran the Lonestar Racing inaugural GT3 Series, and then we kind of broke it up with the Sports Car Series, where we had GT3 mixed in with LMP2. Bit of a learning experience, but decided to switch back over and run GT3. Initially, they were going to run Indy cars, but glad we made that switch, just with all the changings that have happened between IndyCar and their licensing with iRacing and then other game provider. Qualifying just about wrapped up here, 20 seconds shy. Drivers will be able to complete their laps as long as they get to the start-finish line prior to that 15-minute mark, if I stand corrected. Spicer, a little oversteer on that final corner. Gaston Masroni running third in qualifying. Nick Caccato has jumped up into that fifth position. Currently, it's Terry Crouch and Brat Crouch, your top two. No relation. Gotta be honest, those are a last name that I had never heard prior to knowing these two, and then all of a sudden you find two of them and they're not related. $13 viewers in the stream so far. Guys, again, I just want to reiterate the stream chat is available. You guys can jump in and say hello. It's not on subscriber only. It's on a little bit of a delay. Slow mode, if you will, just to kind of keep all the spam out of it. But feel free to jump in. Keep it PG. Tell us where you're watching from. Love to see if we've got any international viewers tonight. Oddly enough, we've had some international viewers on the NASCAR side of things as of late, so that's pretty cool to see. Almost would expect it here in GT3, but if you're watching from another country, please let us know where you're at. Really would appreciate that. It's pretty cool. Qualifying clock in about 17 minutes thus far. Again, letting guys finish up. Terry Crouch says, hello from Road America, with a smiley face. Yeah, okay. Terry's got jokes. It looks like that's it. Everyone has gotten their time locked in for qualifying. We're going to jump over to our starting grid here momentarily. So just sit tight.
Just don't know where that baby of mine. Well, I just don't know. Have mercy, brother.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Road America, the Lonestar Racing GT3 Series. Rich D PC Grand Prix. On the pole position, Terry Crouch with a time of 2 minutes 4 seconds, .153 with TLDR Simsport number 59 BMW with a quick time. Outside front row, it's Gaston Masroni in the number 3 with Vuchuar Racing. Brad Crouch is going to start from the 3rd spot with Randall White rolling from P4. 5th goes to Nick Ciccato. 6th place starting position is going to go to the American Andrew Locke with Kevin Burrows, teammate for Terry Crouch, starting P7. Dave Seats rolls from the 8th position with James Vance, the number 87 out of Canada, starting 9th. Daniel Klar, the 114 is going to start 10th. 11th, David Tamira. Alexis Mandrakia starts 12th. 13th goes to Chris Pio. Sean Roberts, 14th. Brandon Domain will be 15th with Kevin Blue, Lone Star Racing's number 54, starting 16th. Josh Lucas is going to roll 17th. Drew Blaze, 18th. 19th goes to Andy Spicer with Chris Goins in Lamborghini, starting 20th. 21st, it's Mike Piazza. 22nd, Alfredo Tricarachi. Still working on the names. Will Hewitt with Outcast Racing is going to roll 23rd. Nick Batista, 24th. 25th, Corey Deal. Cullen Johnson, 26th, with Brandon Minnick, the number 81, starting 27th. 28th starter is going to go to Dave Coburn with Rich Dalmazio starting 29th. Justin T. Wilkinson starting 30th. 31st, Travis Martin. 32nd, PM Beagle. And last but not least, our good friend Britt Osborne starting 33rd. It's your starting grid here for the Rich D PC Grand Prix from Road America. Going green the next time by. Nice big field of race cars here at Road America, 33 strong. I think about 44 cars, 43 cars or something to that amount registered for this particular league. So we're going to have a strong set of drivers all season long, I think. Long parade lap. Well, it was certainly needed to get the starting grid in. I kind of rushed through it because lately on the oval side, we've been coming down to the green flag, and I'm just finishing it up. Glad we got it all in here tonight. Field working through Canada Corner here, going to the green flag here shortly. Gonna have to pay close attention to see how this goes through turn number 1. It could be calamity. Pace car is in. Barney the flagman with green in hand, and we're underway from Road America. Looks like everybody gets through turn 1 cleanly. James Vance up to 1 position already, into P8. Terry Crouch with the lead from pole position. He's got Gaston Masroni in behind. Then it's Brad Crouch, Nick Ciccato, Randall White. That's your top 5 positions. Very impressed with these guys getting through that first lap without incident. At least the first turn. We're not done with the first lap just yet as Terry Crouch gets into the famous kink. Terry Crouch up the hill to complete lap number 1. Put some distance already on Gaston Masroni. It's almost a full second. First lap for Crouch. Pretty quick considering it's the opening lap, 2:07.93. Of course, no traffic to contend with right now for Terry Crouch, just in cruise control mode. Interesting tidbit to consider, though, is when it comes down to the fuel stops that these drivers will have to make. The question will be, fuel only, double stint the tires, I know it's only a 1-hour race, or change them during the stop. Now, we asked that question mainly because a 70% fuel load, they will need to make a pit stop to complete this, and a little bit sooner than what we would expect with about a 45 to 50 minute window. It may be a little bit less. Now the question there, it's going to be, how long are you going to need to sit in pit lane taking fuel? Do you have time to change tires? Now, I ask that because previous to the most recent update with iRacing is the tires were changed independently of fueling the race car. Now, with the latest update, they will change tires simultaneously, so you don't have as much time lost to take tires, but again, a 70% fuel load means less fuel to be put into the vehicles. It may make for a shorter pit stop. So I'd be real curious to see who opts for tires, who doesn't. We saw it at Bathurst last week. I think it may have been Gaston that had taken tires when he came down for his pit, whereas Terry Crouch did not. Cost him a lot of track position. He was certainly faster at the end, but it was just too much to make up. Now again, this being a longer race, is there an advantage to taking those tires in the long run with the faster lap time? At Bathurst, if it was an hour race, I got a feeling Terry Crouch probably would not have walked away with a victory. Maybe a solid top 3, but probably not that top step. Looking back towards the 12th position, Alexis Mandrakia. Taking a look here with James Vance and Andrew Locke. Andrew about 5-6 car lengths ahead of the 87. When these two get together, they may be inclined to work together, kind of work through this traffic, pick them off one at a time. They're already starting to work their way towards the front. Andrew still sits where he started in P6, but Vance is up 2 spots to P7. Terry Crouch continues to lead with a 1.4 second advantage over Gaston Masroni. Sean Roberts back in 17th, the Shenandoah Shine Porsche, I believe the only Porsche in the field today. Now he is one of 2 Porsches in the field, the other Rich Damasio, running 33rd currently. So far, this race has been relatively incident-free. A couple of off tracks here and there, nothing real significant to speak of. See, Justin Wilkinson went off about a lap ago. Gaston Masroni looks like he went off as well. He gave up a full second in that. In fact, let's take a look at that incident. Our second place running driver running off course. This is just coming into the kink. It's a dangerous place to have that happen. Let's get a better look at it. Real time, the white, black, and green BMW in the grass there. Good job saving it. So often that takes a hard right into that jersey barrier to the right side. Gets away with a big one there. Randall White also with TLDR Sim Sport. Randall running in the 5th position. Meanwhile, James Vance jumps up into P6. Andrew Locke, I don't know if there was an issue there with Andrew and maybe Dave Seats, but Andrew goes from P6 back to 8th. Meanwhile, it looks like Brandon Minnick has crashed. Let's see if we can find anything, maybe an off track with Seats or Locke. I don't see anything in the history here. Let's see what happened with Brandon Minnick. Brandon Minnick in the Ford GT. A little too much rear brake, it looks like. Both Fords involved in this one. Minnick slides back into the grass to avoid the oncoming traffic. Backs it into the concrete there for a moment. Slight bit of damage for Brandon Minnick. Dave Coburn also has crashed. This is lap 4. Wouldn't really call it a crash so much, just a little off track through the kitty litter. Oh, but he does come back on the racetrack. Can't really see him through the trees. Coburn, I think, our only Mercedes in the field. A huge, huge surprise. Corey Deal also with an incident. Corey with GCOM Motorsports gets the right sides in the grass. Drift, drift, drift. Contact with the wall. It's got to get her spun back around and back on track. It's in a tough spot there. Oh, close call. Meanwhile, Will Hewitt has also gone off track. We talk about things being clean, and now all of a sudden guys are having some trouble. Again, Will Hewitt, I think, was the other Ford involved in that incident with Brandon Minnick. There was a slight bit of contact between those two when Minnick got into trouble. Will Hewitt coming in more from the oval side of things. Had some impressive runs, honestly, in the SCAR GT3 Series. That's going back about a year or so now. Certainly not opposed to road racing. Seems to enjoy it. Of course, being an oval guy, he's got to show up in the Ford with that big burly V8, and man, it does sound good. Meanwhile, Terry Crouch, still your race leader, is gapped back to Masroni to 3.5 seconds now. We're 10 minutes into this 60-minute sprint. Other battles through the field. Now it's Sean Roberts in the 17th spot. Closing in on Drew Blaze. Down into turn 1, heavy braking, usually where you'd expect the Porsche to excel. Blaze takes a solid defensive line through turn 1. Roberts pulls out to pass here at the driver's left for Drew Blaze. Down to the bottom of the hill, a hard left-hander, heavy braking. They make it stick. He slides up the racetrack, crossover from Drew Blaze. Not enough grip for Roberts to maintain the spot. I think he may have just overdrove the corner. I think he had the spot. Didn't need to push as hard as he did, and Drew Blaze goes off the track. Blaze in a bit of a battle with Sean Roberts. Roberts overdrove the one corner, Blaze overdrove the other. Drew Blaze going to lose 2 spots there, one to Sean Roberts, the other to Andy Spicer. Spicer in, you guessed it, a BMW. Again, there's 18 of these BMWs in the field today. Seems to be the car of choice. The top 12 in the standings, all running the German automaker BMW. Saw Brandon Domain in the 15th position, also in a BMW. Gotta say, good looking paint scheme, silverback colors. See, Will Hewitt may have crashed again. Maybe this is the same replay. We'll have to make sure. Nope, Hewitt way off in the grass. Gathers it up, or does he? No, he does not. Big time impact. We were just talking about getting into the grass, entering into the kink, and many times it sends the driver into the barrier, and it did just that with Will Hewitt. Sends him to pit lane. Likely afternoon over for the 33. Josh Lucas also with an incident, same lap. Already some pre-existing damage to that machine. That may be why he gets off into the grass here. So Lucas is possibly going to call it. Definitely some right front suspension damage. See that right front wheel just bouncing in that well, and he gets into the fence again. I think he's just going to go right to the pits. He does. Terry Crouch, though, still with a commanding lead over second place Gaston Masroni. Smooth sailing out the front windshield of his BMW. Dave Seats running 8th. Chris Goins up to 14th. Up 6 spots. Slowly but surely making his way towards the front. Chris Pio in P13, just ahead of Chris Goins there. In fact, let's ride on board with Chris Goins. Oh, contact with PM Beagle. Was just going to bring that up. It seemed that Beagle was taking a pretty defensive line, especially considering that he's not a lead lap car. Chris Goins running P14. Beagle was 30th. Definitely going to cost Chris Goins some time there. Appears to be damage-free. The number 28 machine. Going to continue on, have to regroup. With that, though, we're going to step aside here, get an HBR TV side-by-side break out of the way. We'll be back after this.
I would definitely recommend the Garza Law Firm to all my family and friends because I know how he's treated me. I have been playing basketball ever since I can remember. I just finished my 6-year career playing for the University of Tennessee. I feel like we're both striving to be better every day. He's always responded quickly and has always come through with whatever he said that he's going to do. The Garza Law Firm is definitely somebody you want on your team.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
the great thing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the virtual Road America. Race number 1 of the Lonestar Racing GT3 Series, the Rich DPC Grand Prix. Terry Crouch still your race leader. Been a clean run so far for the 59. Started tonight's race on the pole position. Has led every lap to this point. We are 10 laps in. Second place running is the 3, the other BMW. In fact, the whole top 12 are going to be BMW, so don't let that surprise anybody. Gaston Masroni, again, I'm really trying to say it right. I hope I am. If anybody out there is in the stream chat that knows specifically how he's pronouncing that name, please let me know if I'm doing it wrong. Just want to do everybody justice here. Brett Crouch running in the 3rd spot, the number 5. Brack, no stranger to Lonestar Racing. Nick Ciccato in the 4th position, the number 2 BMW. Team car to Gaston Masroni. Nick started in P5. He's up 1 spot. Top 3 running all where they started. Randall White in the 5th position. He's down a spot. Started 4th. The other TLDR SimSport driver. Looking back to James Vance. Vance, the number 87. He's up 3 positions so far today. Vance typically out driving on the weekends in the IMSA LMP3 car with Fast MD Motorsports. Or Fast MD Racing, that is. Andrew Locke, teammate. Andrew down a spot, running at P7. Road America, one of Andrew's favorite places to turn laps. Kevin Burrows, another TLDR SimSport entry, the 426. Runs in the 8th position. Dave Seats, down 1 spot in 9th. Number 14, Limitless Motorsports. Again, still with BMW. 10th place is Alexis Mandrakia. Up 2 positions, started 12th. Looks to be another team car with Gaston Masroni and Nick Ciccato. And then Dave Tamira, another familiar name. Dave spent some time running in the SCAR Radical Series. Has been over here in the Lonestar Racing Sports Car Series. I don't recall if he had any time in last season's GT3 Series, but either way, Dave's no stranger to road racing. Out here running in the 11th position, right where he started. So far, so good, having a consistent afternoon. It's all you can really ask for. Daniel Klar, the 12th position, also the BMW. The last BMW in the top 12 for 114. Started 10th. He's got some work to do to make his way back up into that top 10. A little wide. Saw the car shake a little bit on corner entry, a little bit too much rear brake in it, it may seem. Chris Pio, the number 9 Ford GT. Love these cars. Maybe not necessarily the fastest on current GT3 standards, but they certainly win in the sound category. And Chris Pio running in the 13th spot, right where he started. Sean Roberts in the Porsche, running in the 14th position. Andy Spicer running 15th, up 4 spots. Yet another BMW. Now, speaking of BMWs, league rules do state that these guys are going to have to run the entire season in the manufacturer car that they started tonight's race with. So there's no switching. If you do switch, you will forfeit the points that you've made for that particular race with the alternate vehicle. So guys are going to have the incentive not to make any changes. Of course, if there is any significant changes to any of the updates that iRacing may have for any of these GT3 cars that they're using, then there may be an exception made, but that will be determined by race admins. 16th position is Chris Goins, number 28 Lamborghini. 17th is Alfredo Trecaraci. Carici. I'm working on it, guys. I really am. Trying. Looks to be another team car to Gaston and Nick Caccato and Alexis Mendrakias. It looks like there's 4 of them out here on the same team. I can't really make out the name on the door. Let's try it here. Can't do it. Kevin Blue running in the 18th position. He's down a couple of spots. Kevin, of course, the league admin here in the Lonestar Racing GT3 Series. Just thoroughly enjoys coming out here and running these road cars. Nicholas Batista running in the 19th spot. Nick running the only Ferrari in the field. There was a time where that's unheard of. We'd have the same situation that we have currently with the BMW. The whole thing would be a ton of Ferraris. Only one here today. Travis Martin, another Lamborghini, running in the 20th position. He's up 11 spots, so don't let that 20th spot fool you. He's certainly made some headway here this afternoon. Justin Wilkinson, also a Lamborghini, up in the 21st position, up 9 spots. Simrap Marketplace. I think that's what it says. Simrap Market. Good looking color scheme on that Lambo. Drew Blaze running in the 22nd spot. Brandon Domain is 23rd. Britt Osborne, the other Ford GT, running 24th. Colin Johnston running in the 25th spot. Yet again, another Lamborghini. James Vance looking to the inside for position on Randall. Randall White from TLDR Simsport. That would be for the 5th position. This is the battle. Vance looks to the inside, bit of a crossover. Dangerous move, and he pulls it off. Tight place to make a pass. Big time aggression for James Vance, and he gets it done, and Andrew Locke's going to follow him on through at the bottom of the hill. Lost James Vance for a moment there. Connection issue, but he's back. Next on the hit list for Vance, Nick Caccato for the 4th position. Let's go on board here with James Vance and see how it looks from the inside of that BMW. More connection loss for James Vance. Does come back in. Now on board with Nicholas Caccato looking on the gearbox cam. Back to James Vance. Vance loses connection again right in front of Andrew Locke. Comes back in on corner exit. Vance looking to the inside for that position. That seems to be his best part of the track. The kink and further. Up through Bill Mitchell. Top of the hill, Vance is going to get a slipstream here with some help from Andrew Locke as well. We'll see what he's got for him down in the braking zone to turn number 1. Vance, the black and yellow, number 87. Nothing doing just yet. Terry Crouch still with the lead, 4.4 seconds back to Gaston Masroni. This is the battle now for the 4th, 5th, and 6th positions. Coccato, Vance, and Locke. Also seems like it might be allowing Kevin Burrows to catch this trio as well. Vance looks to the inside. I'm sorry, Vance completes the pass. Locke tried to follow him through. Now through the carousel. Locke's going to have a slipstream here. Oh, Vance goes wide. Vance in the grass. Oh, contact. Maybe some net code. Car in the wall. Nick Coccato in the Armco barrier through the kink. Let's go back and take a look at it. It started with Vance going into the grass. Goes wide. Gets back on the track. Coccato goes now driver's left. Oh, hard to say, but big time impact for Coccato. Try and get a better look at it from a different angle. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see this contact or not. May not have been net code, but it was certainly side by side and door to door. Don't even have a good blimp view of it. See what this will show us. No contact until the 2 is around. It's either net code. We did see the 2 get on the brakes before entry to the kink. In fact, if we back this up further, you'll see those brake lights come on. So to the kink, I know it's hard to see. We are a ways back, but look at the car to the left at the front. There, you see the brake lights come on right there. Now, that may have rotated the car and upset the balance. It could have sent him around. Again, it could have been some net code. Unfortunately, though, for Nick Coccato, he's one of the fast guys out there. He's going to have a hard time here for the rest of this race. He's going to have to pit. He is at a point where he could pit and make that fuel stop, but he's got some track position to make up. Coccato definitely with some big-time damage. I think he's dog tracking pretty bad. Rear end housing probably broken. Great job just getting it back to the pits. They are able to use at least one fast repair, but it took some time to get Coccato down into pit lane. He should be good to go to here to the end, though, with the fuel stop coming just past halfway. We also see Kevin Burrows has made a stop, so he's in the 16th position. He's good to go to the end. As have Dave Tamira, Brandon Domain, Nick Batista, Nick Ciccato just making his stop, Drew Blaze, Britt Osborne. A lot of drivers completing their pit work already here. Top 9 for certain have not. Some drivers starting to peel off, though. Daniel Clark out of New York. Dave Seats down pit lane, as well as Chris Goins. Chris Goins in the box. Looks like he's taking tires as well as fuel. Unless the shadows are just tricking my eyeballs here. Travis Martin in the pit box as well. Going to be 4 tires and fuel for Travis Martin. Guess that'll be the question for Terry Crouch and the rest of these leaders when they make their pit stops. Top 11 down to Alfredo Tricaraci. Carici. Still messing that one up. Terry Crouch, though, out of the final corner into pit lane for his first and final stop of the day. So this becomes the question. We've seen many drivers take tires through that stop. They did add some time, certainly, to the pit stop. We'll see if he takes the opportunity or just wants to keep the track position. He certainly has pace, but that's on the fresher tires. Can he go another 25 minutes here on the old set? Let's see if he can. Nope, tires are going on it. Jack's up in the air. 4 tires and a fuel load for Terry Crouch. Meanwhile, Gaston Masroni has stayed on the racetrack. He's going to go out and lead this lap. Expect to see him possibly in the next time by. Again, we're on fixed setup, so everyone should be roughly on the same strategy. The only thing you can really adjust here is your driving style as far as trying to save fuel. Brad Crouch stayed out, as well as James Vance. Andrew Locke, however, he has made his pit stop, so that's going to put him off cycle with teammate James Vance. Be curious how they cycle through when James makes his final stop. Vance now up to P3. Gaston driving it like he stole it. Unsure if he's coming to pit lane this time by. We shall see. Looks like that's the case. Not wasting any time coming up the hill, though. Hard on the brakes. Into pit lane. Get down to pit road speed. So Gaston Masroni in pit lane for his final stop. Only stop of the day. Then it's Brack, Crouch, James Vance. They both come down pit lane as well. Top 3 in for their final stops. You can watch James Vance here and see if he opts for fuel only. Again, I don't know if there is any time savings to not take tires here. You might see James gamble if there is. If anybody can do it, it's James Vance. Fuel only stop for James Vance. Not going to risk taking tires here. Going to try and pick up some track position. Only going to take the fuel that he must have to get into that machine to get it all the way to the checkered flag, about 21 and a half minutes away. So Terry Crouch took tires. His stop 20.5 seconds. Gaston Masroni 22.03. Brad Crouch, 1955. James Vance, extended stop, 30.37 seconds. Did not see tires go on that BMW. He may have taken way too much fuel, would be my guess. Too early to tell. Meanwhile, Sean Roberts appears to have crashed. Maybe just gone off course. Car looks pretty good right now. Let's try and get a look at it. It was lap 18, so a lap ago. Maybe he's pit since then. Down into Canada corner. Keep an eye on the Porsche. Ooh, a little hot on the brakes. Doesn't hit anything. Continues on. So here's our top contenders of all completed pit stops here from Road America. Terry Crouch has increased his gap back to Gaston Masroni to 9.6 seconds. A significant margin. Again, pre-pit stops, it was about 4.5. So in and out, Terry Crouch gained a significant amount of time. Again, Terry's stop was at 20.5. Gaston at 22.03. So there's about a second and a half there. It means the rest of that was getting in and out of pit lane. Very impressive for Terry Crouch. Let's check out our two biggest movers of the night. Justin Wilkinson, number 55 Lamborghini, runs in the 18th spot, but he's up 12 positions. Strong run so far here at Road America. Travis Martin also up 12 positions. Meanwhile, it appears Nick Batista has gone off track. Let's take a look at this. Final corner, gets in the grass, gathers it back up, nothing major. And James Vance in trouble. Goes wide again. I think this is the final corner as well. Comes back on the track. Sean Roberts now in trouble again. Oh, he's going to spin this one around, or is he? He gets it into the kitty litter. It was looking like a pretty good save for a while there. Cold tires is going to be my guess here. These guys having some trouble putting the power down and getting the car woed up without having any issues. Meanwhile, Terry Crouch still in a familiar position out front, continues to lead this here at Road America. He's led all but I think a lap or two during the pit cycle. I think Gaston did pick up at least one lap led. Advantage for Crouch up to 10 seconds, but there's only 0.4 difference between P2 and P3. We've got a battle here for that position, and it's Brad Crouch in P3 contesting that, trying to get away around Gaston Masroni, see if he can track down Terry Crouch and possibly challenge for this win. He's got a lot of ground to make up. He's got to get by Gaston first. Crouch has got the power down. A little oversteer on corner exit. It's qualifying laps from here to the checkered flag for Brad Crouch. Going to try and maximize the day. See what he can do with Gaston Masroni. Again, equal equipment here. They're both running the same setup, same car. That's really the only variance across the field tonight is going to be which car you're running in. Some tracks are going to favor particular vehicles over others. It seems that everyone's real happy with the BMW, though. We'll see how that pans out throughout the course of the season. Crouch wide again, left side's in the grass through the kink. Down into Canada corner, the right-hander. Crouch very close to Gaston. Again, Crouch started in the third spot. Where he runs now, he's certainly looking to better that position here in the finishing order. As we approach the 45-minute mark with about 15 minutes plus to go. Top of the hill here, there's going to be a big-time slipstream. See if Crouch can take advantage. The Mercedes is going to aid Gaston Masroni as well, though a lap car. Down into turn one, really no advantage change. Right on board with Brad Crouch. Disposes of the Mercedes, and now it's attack time once again. Masroni able to increase his gap between himself to Brack. 0.6 of a second. Going to be down the hill, hard on the braking, the left-hander. Crouch really good on the brakes down in that corner, but Masroni, a little problem getting out of the corner though, putting the power down, a little oversteer. Masroni extends his lead now to a full second over Brad Crouch. Well, with 15 less minutes to go here, we're going to step aside one more time, get an HBR TV side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us. You won't miss a thing. We'll be back after this.
I would definitely recommend the Garza Law Firm to all my family and friends because I know how he's treated me. I have been playing basketball ever since I can remember. I just finished my 6-year career playing for the University of Tennessee. I feel like we're both striving to be better every day. He's always responded quickly and has always come through with whatever he said that he's going to do. The Garza Law Firm is definitely somebody you want on your team.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back to Road America here into the conclusion here. Less than 12 minutes remain for race number 1 from Road America, the Lonestar Racing GT3 Series season number 2. Terry Crouch, your race leader. Gaston Masroni still runs in the second spot with pressure from Brack Crouch still there. Gap has increased slightly, though it's 0.6 of a second. He was right there for a little while, and the Mercedes, the lapper, got involved there. It allowed Gaston to get away just a bit. Crouch has closed back in slightly. We'll see if he can take advantage of the slipstream down the hill here once again. He was very strong under braking a lap or two ago, but over-rotated on corner exit. We'll see how he gets through the left-hander this time. Got through it pretty clean, but so did Gaston. Didn't change the gap at all, really. In fact, if anything, Gaston pulled away by an extra 10th. But no, Masroni loses a couple of tenths there. Now it's down to half a second, but oh, in the grass goes Brack Crouch. Brack trying to get all he can here, wants that position. I just don't know if he's got enough to do it. Once again, I want to thank Whiplash Sim Cams for providing our opening sequence shots and our custom camera pack for tonight's race here at Road America. Do such a great job with everything they have to offer. If you need any kind of custom cameras for your broadcast, certainly check those guys out, Whiplash Sim Cams. You can find them on Facebook, also in Discord. I believe they've got a fresh Discord channel up and available. Absolute worst case, if you can't find them, touch base with me here at HBR TV. We'll get you in touch. Continue to watch this battle for the second spot between Gaston Masroni and Brack Crouch. Fourth place is Andrew Locke. In fact, Andrew has got his own battle here with Kevin Burrows with TLDR Simsport. Appears that James Vance is out of this race. Again, still unsure if it was a matter of took too much fuel, cost him a ton of time, and then it resulted later on. About a lap after the stop, he ended up in the grass and with an incident. He's retired the car from the event. Right on board with Kevin Burrows as he chases down Andrew Locke. Again, this would be for the fourth position. Saw Andrew stab the brake for a moment mid-corner. A little bit of understeer trying to get that car to rotate off the corner. Much better corner for Andrew that time. Andrew powering out of the carousel. Good run for the 23. Such a fun lap around Road America here. It's got 7.5 minutes remain. Battles on the racetrack really for second and fourth. Nobody really battling with Terry Crouch as he continues to lead this race. Down into turn one, see if Burrows has the run. Not quite enough to make the move to the inside. A car length, maybe 2, between Locke and Burrows, again, for the fourth position. Meanwhile, the battle between Gaston Masroni and Brack Crouch has gone to a full second between those two drivers. Burrows took a peek in the inside of the Corvette corner. It's not even what it's called, but it's what came to mind. Under the Corvette bridge. Nothing doing for Burrows, though. He does seem to be a bit faster, but he is also very clean. Again, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Kevin ran many a stint for us at HBR Autosport and the iRacing Daytona 24. Extremely clean driver. Not going to risk everything for just a small amount. If he's got an opening to make it, make the pass, he's going to do it. But if it's a low percentage move, he's not going to go for it. Which some may say, oh, you're not aggressive enough. It's why you don't do this, or it's why you don't do that. Well, it's also why you don't wreck the car unnecessarily. I'd rather you get the thing finished and get it home than to make crazy moves for one spot. Oh, almost some contact. There might have been contact with Locke and the Ferrari. Ferrari and Nick Batista. Batista goes off in the grass. And Andrew's got to go. He's got to keep moving here, keep a distance, keep some gap between himself and Burrows. The further he gets away, the less slipstream he's going to provide. See, Burrows does close it right back in there down the front straightaway here down to turn number 1. It's still 2 car lengths between Locke and Burrows. Meanwhile, battle for second spot heating up once again. Gaston Masroni, Brad Crouch. It was a full second just a lap or 2 ago. Here we are with 4.5 minutes remain. Brad Crouch under braking. Might have a run up the hill. Definitely had the run, just not quite enough of it. 1 car length between P2 and P3 as we close in the conclusion here of the Rich DPC Grand Prix. Might have it here, taking a look. Defensive line for Gaston. It's going to force him to the high side. Through the carousel, car length, maybe a car length and a half, back to Brad Crouch into the kink. Great action here late in the going, down into Canada corner. Does he make the move? No, defensive line again for Masroni. Knows how to work it. Up to Bill Mitchell. Still Masroni with the second spot. Up the hill, looks like Crouch lost a little bit on that final corner. And by a little, I mean a lot. It's up to 9/10 of a second. Does have the assistance of that slipstream, but time running thin. Meanwhile, Crouch has extended his lead to almost 14 seconds. Over the 3 BMW of Gaston Masroni. Brad Crouch there in P3 in behind. Go back and check on Andrew Locke and Kevin Burrows. This battle also picking back up. About 0.3 of a second between the two. Burrows looking to the outside, and Andrew now taking a defensive line down into the left-hander. Burrows may need to stuff it really low to the inside here to make this move work. Less than 2 minutes remain. Last lap for Terry Crouch, fastest of the day, 2:03.73 for the number 59. Now he's just showing off. Burrows does seem faster, but Andrew very good at defending. Doesn't need to worry about it here in the Canada corner. There's plenty of space between himself and Burrows. Back down the front straightaway here, Gaston Masroni, P2. They crossed the stripe. This should be the final lap of the day. In fact, it is. Barney's waving that flag with all his might. Continue to watch this battle for P2 between Gaston Masroni and Brett Crouch. Similar battle continuing back with Andrew Locke and Kevin Burrows. This one currently a little bit closer than those two. At this point, you got to wonder, is it just a matter of someone making a mistake that could open the door to change hands of these positions? Brett Crouch certainly waiting and hoping for that to happen. He's had plenty of pace, and it almost seems a very similar situation that we've had with Andrew Locke and Kevin Burrows. It may seem like the trailing car may have a little bit more pace overall, but you've got to find a way around and clear if you're going to try and run away, because as it stands right now, Gaston's just fast enough in the right places on the racetrack to keep Brett Crouch in behind him. Go to our leader, Terry Crouch. He's on his final lap. Up through Bill Mitchell. One more corner to go. Up the hill for the final time. Terry Crouch, he's led almost all afternoon from the pole position. Checkered flag about to wave. It does. Terry Crouch, your race winner here in the Rich D PC Grand Prix. Battle for second, Gaston Masroni looks like he's going to take the second spot. Brett Crouch is going to go P3. Andrew Locke hanging on to that fourth position. Unless there's a miracle from Kevin Burrows, this is how it's going to end. Up the hill for the final time, it's Andrew Locke and Kevin Burrows to round out the top five. Randall White, TLDR Sim Sport teammate, Terry Crouch, he's going to come home P6. Alexis Mandrakia, P7. Your race winner, Terry Crouch, not bothering with the cool down lap. With that, we're going to step aside here, get another break out of the way. We're going to hopefully get our top three up into the broadcast booth. I'm not 100% sure we'll have Gaston Masroni in the booth, as I'm not sure if we have a language barrier or not. We'll figure it out. I'm perfectly happy having him up here, even if it is in his native language. Happy to do that because I'm sure he's got some people watching the broadcast, so that would be pretty cool as well. Stick with us. We'll be back after this.
I would definitely recommend the Garza Law Firm to all my family and friends because I know how he's treated me. I have been playing basketball ever since I can remember. I just finished my 6-year career playing for the University of Tennessee. I feel like we're both striving to be better every day. He's always responded quickly and has always come through with whatever he said that he's going to do. The Garza Law Firm is definitely somebody you want on your team.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Road America, the Lonestar Racing GT3 Series, race number 1, already in the books. We looked forward to this for such a long time, and already race 1 is complete. We have a race winner. We've got Terry Crouch in the green room, waiting to pull him up into the broadcast booth. Terry, it's Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a good copy?
I do. You got me, Steve?
We got you loud and clear, Terry. Again, congratulations, man. We've been talking to you quite a bit here as of late. Some struggles in the preseason at Daytona, and since then, it's been a lot of checkered flags, man. I know you've been talking about how, when the fast guys get here, I'm in trouble, but I don't know if you noticed this. You're one of the fast guys. Tell us about your race.
I had a couple good weeks. You know, there was those guys are fast, and there's something down to strategy, and at this track especially, kind of like we were talking last week, just not using your crap up, conserving tires. I didn't really save fuel because I did kind of a little cheeky move. When I knew Gaston was fast enough to hold the draft, I used a lapper as a pick and kind of sent it into turn, I think it was 8, and tried to build a gap there to break the draft. And then after that, it was just trying to hold serve and keep it under me, and then pit stops, get into the pit lane as hard as I could, come out and then lay them down and see if I could build a gap. But it worked out pretty well, so we'll see.
Well, certainly an impressive run, 100%. You had the pole position coming into tonight, of course. I think you led every lap, maybe except for one. I don't know if Gaston was able to jump out and lead that lap during the pit cycle or not. But either way, man, a very impressive performance, without a doubt. Next week, we go out to a completely different style road course, and that's the Red Bull Ring on the 13th. What are your thoughts rolling in there?
I like that place in open wheel cars and downforce cars, not so much in GTs. It's really good no matter what you're in. It's good racing. It's just a place where driver mistakes can collect 2 or 3 guys, in some of those tight corners, and you just track out. So especially trying to come through the field next week, it's going to be just survival and see what I can do.
We'll certainly take care of that car next week. Interesting choice with the BMW. It seems that you were one of 17 others as well that decided to opt with that BMW GT3 car. What was the reasoning for the choice and selection of the BMW?
Simple. Safety. It's a long season. I tried the McLaren. I tried every car.
Well, either way, Terry.
Push it.
What's that? Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. I was saying the BMW, I can push it, but when it gets out of shape, you can generally save it. Unlike the McLaren or the Lambo or the Audi, where once I get it out of shape, as we saw in preseason week 1, I kill myself. So I just want to survive. The best chance to win a championship is to make every race to the checkered.
It's interesting because we've heard a lot of guys talk about the BMW, and obviously it's a GT3 category car just like everybody else's, but in driving it, I've heard the term, it's boring a lot of the time. Yes, it has the pace. It can keep up. It's still a GT3 car in the same class, but in driving it, and I experienced this myself, it doesn't feel like it's going fast enough. But obviously you look at the stopwatch and it is. I mean, how do you feel like the car drives?
Exactly like that. I feel like I'm going so fast in the McLaren, and then I look and I'm just as fast in the BMW, but on cruise control.
Right.
I don't have to push it. It is boring because as long as you keep it out of the ABS and trail brake it down all the way, that's what I had to work on in practice, is making sure I held my trail brake all the way to the apexes here, otherwise it washed out. But I tend to kind of gravitate to front engine cars anyway. I'd rather have understeer I can deal with and fix through technique. Oversteer, I usually kill myself, so I'll be a little slower as long as I can survive.
Well, Terry, either way, a checkered flag is a great way to start the season. Congratulations. Certainly good luck next week at Red Bull Ring. We're going to let you go. Who do you want to shout out to?
My wife Jill, she puts the broadcast on, and my youngest daughter Aurora wanted to see it tonight too. So a bunch of my boys from the Sim Pit joined, and TLDR Sim Sport, and you for hosting this, and Kevin Blue, the guys at LSR. This is going to be one of the best leagues. Just really looking forward to it.
Thanks for talking to us, Terry. Have a good night.
Anytime, man.
It's Terry Crouch, your race winner here at Road America. Second place, Gaston Masroni. Unfortunately, he's not going to be here to tell me how I'm saying his name is correct or wrong or whatever. But again, a language barrier for Gaston. I'm really kind of bummed he can't be up in here. if anybody's listening that knows Gaston, either personally or through iRacing, if anybody wants to jump in here with him in the future and help translate for him, or even have him just prompt him to even give an interview in his home language, I would certainly be happy to let him do that. A great run for Gaston. Started P2, finished P2. He got one lap led. Unable to bring the checkered flag home. Again, kind of the same situation he had last week at Bathurst in the preseason race. But either way, a solid start to the season. Looking forward to how he runs throughout the rest of this season. Brack Crouch is your third place finisher. We'll pull him up into the broadcast booth and get a word with Brack. Brack, it's Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a solid copy?
Yes, I do.
Brack, congratulations on a podium here at Road America. I know you were trying with all you had to try and get around Gaston there late in the running. Tell us about the battle. Was there anything you could have done differently? Was it just a matter of getting by, getting clear? It seemed like you had more pace.
Well, I think I told you there. It was about everything I could do to keep catching up to him. And then, there were a few hiccups here and there, and once he did that, I could really gain on him, but man, that guy can defend. So, it was a lot of fun. Boy, I'm a sweaty mess.
Kind of seems to be the theme of tonight. I think Terry Crouch said the same thing in the stream chat. Thanks, everybody. Sweating hard. I don't know what kind of work he really did at the front of the field. There wasn't a whole lot battling for Terry Crouch, but it was certainly a bunch for you, Brack Crouch. And again, I want to confirm, you guys aren't related, right?
Oh, no. We just ran into each other in the league last year, and that was it.
Unreal. Well, Brack, as you said, Gaston definitely very good at defending. We saw that quite a bit, certainly taking away the preferred line on corner entry quite a bit of the time. But what are your thoughts going into the Red Bull Ring next week? Certainly a much different racetrack, more of a European-style racetrack. How do you feel about your chances out there?
I'm not too familiar with the track. I've raced it a few times, but I'm going to have to spend a bit of time getting used to it. The high downforce setup makes it a little bit easier, but we're probably going to have to worry about tire wear with all the twisting and winding we're going to be doing.
So with that, I know we got our eyeballs on a lot of the guys' pit stops tonight. Did you end up taking tires on your stop? I know with the most recent update, they do allow fueling while you're doing the tire change. Was there a benefit, and did you take tires?
I did not. You have to have about, I think it's like 50 liters that you need to fill in to get a free tire change. And some guys I know will change a couple of tires, but I did not. I still, I had relatively good tire wear at the end of the race.
Well, just for comparison, and I don't know if I'm giving away trade secrets here, but Terry Crouch did take tires. His pit stop was 20.5 seconds. Your pit stop was 19.55 seconds. So I don't know if the tire strategy would have been enough for you to get around Gaston or not, but food for thought. Again, obviously Red Bull Ring, a completely different racing venue. We'll have to see how things play out there.
Definitely.
Well, Brack, again, congratulations on P3 here to start the season. A great way to get rolling into next week. Thanks for talking to us. We're going to let you go here, but before we do, is there anyone you want to shout out to?
You guys at HBR, or HB, excuse me, Holler Boys Racing TV, and then LSR, and then my boys on my team, RPM. To shout out to them. Thank you very much for helping out with all that you have in the last few months.
Happy to do it. And Brack, just to confirm here, actually, Terry jumps back into the stream chat, says he did not take 4 tires. So, I don't know. I thought I saw the car up on Jack's. I'm wrong. I don't know. I guess we got to put it back to the test next week at Red Bull, man. Good luck.
Yeah, we'll see. Thank you very much.
Take care, Brack.
Alrighty.
It's Brack Crouch, your third place finisher here at Road America. So cool of these guys to talk to us post-race. Again, I wish Gaston was able to jump up here and talk to us. Again, anybody watching the stream, if you're able to come up and translate or even just kind of tell him what I'm saying so he can come up and give his interview, we're more than happy to get him up here into the broadcast booth. But nonetheless, that is your top 3 finishers. Let's take a look at our race results. Terry Crouch, of course, your race winner. Gaston Masroni, your second place finisher. Brack Crouch, the top 3. We talked to them. Again, another update. No, I took tires, just more than one. He's not going to give us the details here. It's in the stream chat. It says more than 1 and less than 4. All right, fair enough. Trade secrets for Terry Crouch. Continuing on, Andrew Locke, a solid run for Andrew. Qualified P6, he finishes P4. Fifth place finisher Kevin Burrows. Randall White was 6th. Alexis Mandrakia was 7th. Daniel Clark 8th. Chris Pyle P9. 10th went to Dave Seats. 11th finishing position, Chris Goins. A solid finish for Chris. Obviously, he started back in the 20th spot. So a 9-position gain for Chris Goins. Kevin Blue finishes P12. 13th, Andy Spicer. Brandon Domain, yes, it's Domain. We've confirmed it. Finished P14. Alfredo Tricarici. I'm never going to get that one right. Starting P15, finished P15. Sean Roberts was 16th. Justin Wilkinson 17th. Nick Cicado P18. 19th went to Travis Martin. Nick Batista was 20th. Drew Blaze 21st, 1 lap down. 22nd, Mike Piazza 1 lap down. All these drivers so far 1 lap or more down. Britt Osborne, Colin Johnston, Dave Colburn 25th. James Vance, a tough break for Vance. Unsure what happened with the 87 pit strategy wise. Spent many extra seconds on the pit lane and then having an issue after leaving. 26th place finish for Vance. Dave Tamira was 27th. Corey Deal 28th. 29th went to Rich Damasio. 30th, Brandon Minnick. 31st, PM Beagle, and Josh Lucas 32nd. Last but not least, certainly not in our hearts, Will Hewitt, 33rd place finish with Outcast Racing, 24 laps down. A tough break for Will Hewitt. Again, definitely an oval guy. He'll school you on an oval. Absolutely, 100%. Enjoys racing the road courses, just having a tough time here this afternoon. Wrecked coming into the kink, got into the barrier hard, ended his day early. But that'll happen. Please join us next week, guys, on the 13th. Same time, same channel, HBR TV here at YouTube.com/@symbol, the letters HBR TV, and the number 1. Like, follow, share, and subscribe. It certainly helps us. It pushes this to a wider audience, gets some more eyeballs on the channel, and it, across the board, just makes things better as a whole. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you for those that chimed in the stream chat. Absolutely makes a difference. It helps us here in the booth, gives us things to talk about. Andrew Locke, I love you too, brother. Thanks for chiming in, man. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.